Hi, this is part 2. Should Wizard Hit Mommy? Page number 5. So, in page number 4, in the first part, we read that Roger Skunk got smell of roses from the wizard. So, we'll continue. He paused as a rapt expression widened out from his daughter's nostrils, forcing her eyebrows up and her lower lip down in a wide, noiseless grin, an expression in which Jack was startled to recognize his wife feigning pleasure at cocktail parties. So, in these lines, the father of Joe is expressing or is telling that when he told that when Jack narrated the story and told that Roger Skunk had got the smell of roses, this made the girl very excited. Rapt means completely fascinated. She was completely fascinated, and that expression widened her nostrils, her eyebrows were lifted up, her lower lip was down. She had a noiseless smile, grin. She was smiling, she was laughing. Okay, and this expression made Jack to remember her wife's feigning pleasure. Feigning means fake smile, which she passes on cocktail parties with her brows lifted up, nostrils are blown out in the same way, same smile he could see at his daughter's face. But it is not fake, it is a real smile. She is really happy. And all of a sudden, he whispered, the whole inside of the wizard house was full of smell of roses. Roses! Roger Fish cried, and the wizard said, very cranky, that will be 7 pennies. Now again he started narrating the story that wizard house was full of smell of roses, and he said, who cried? Roger Fish cried. Daddy, what? Roger Skunk. You said Roger Fish. Yes, Roger Skunk. You said Roger Fish. Wasn't that silly? Very silly of your stupid old daddy. Where was I? Well, you know about the pennies. Say it. Okay, so by mistake he said Roger Fish. So the child corrected her father. It is not fish, it is skunk, Papa. Don't be so silly, huh? Okay, Roger Skunk said, but all I have is 4 pennies. Now, see the daughter, she knows about that something is going to come with pennies now. The child, that Roger Skunk has got only 4 pennies. And he began to cry. Joe made the crying face again, but this time without a trace of sincerity. This annoyed Jack. Downstairs, some more furniture rumbled. Claire shouldn't move heavy things. She was 6 months pregnant. It would be their third. Now, one father was telling the story. Claire was painting the chairs. Okay, he could hear the furniture rumble there. She was doing heavy work as she's 6 months pregnant, so she should rest. They are going to have the third baby. So Jack is impatient. He feels sorry for his wife. He could not help his wife because the child is not going to sleep. Okay, so it takes long to Jack to make the girl sleep. So the wizard said, oh, very well, go to the end of the lane and turn around 3 times and look down the magic well, and there you will find 3 pennies. Hurry up! So Roger Skunk went to the end of the lane, turned around 3 times, and there magic well and there pennies. So he took them back to the wizard and was very happy and ran out into the woods, and all other little animals gathered around him because he smelled so good, and they played tag, baseball, football, basketball, lacrosse, hockey, soccer, and pick up sticks. Now, father wants to hurry up. He wants to end the story in hurry because he wants to help his wife. So here he keeps on narrating that he manages to get three more pennies from the well, goes back to the wizards, give him pennies, come back to his house, come to his wood friends. They all played with him, okay, there, and he was very happy. He ran to the woods. All little animals, they gathered around him because of the good smell. They started playing. They played so many games, and at the end they played pick up sticks. What is pick up sticks? Is it a game you play with it's a game that you play with sticks, like the wizard's magic wand. Kind of, and they played games and laughed all afternoon, and then it began to get dark, and they all ran home to their mommies. Got it, children? So, this is how after playing, Roger Skunk also went to his mommy. Joe was starting to fuss with her hands and look out of the window at the crack of the day that showed under the shade. She thought the story was all over. Jack did not like women when they took anything for granted. He liked them, apprehensive, hanging on his words. Now, Joe, are you listening? Now, Joe is looking out of the window, but this made Jack annoyed because he wants the full attention of that girl. Okay, so he said, are you listening, Joe? Yes, because this is very interesting. Roger Skunk's mommy said, what's that awful smell? What? Act? What act? Oh, so when Roger Skunk reached to his house, what was mother's expression? What's that awful smell? What act? And Roger Skunk said, it's me, mommy. I smell like roses. And she said, who made you smell like that? And he said, the wizard. And she said, well, of all the nerve, you come with me and you are going to write back to that very awful wizard. So, mother is not happy to have that artificial smell of roses because the Roger skunk had lost his original smell, and mother believes in originality. Okay, so she wants to go back to the wizard and return the smell of roses. Joe sat up, her hands dabbling in the air with genuine fright. But Daddy, then he said about the other little animals run away. Her hands skittered off into the underbrush. Skittered means moved lightly and quickly. Okay, so she wants to stop Daddy. Okay, she wants to stop her Daddy by waving her hands. But Papa, if that animal would have again that awful stinky smell, she's the Roger skunk is going to lose all the friends. Then what would happen? All right, he said, but mommy, all the other little animals run away. And she said, I don't care. You smell the way a little skunk should have, and I'm going to take you right back to that wizard. So Roger Skunk pleaded to his mother, but Mama, if I will have that bad smell again, I will lose all my friends. But mother doesn't want to listen anything. Mommy said, no, you will have your original smell. I am going to take you back to the wizard. And she took an umbrella and went back with Roger Skunk and hit that wizard right over the head. So she hit wizard with the umbrella. No, Joe said and put her hand out to touch his lips. Yet even in her agitation did not quite dare to stop the source of truth. Inspiration came to her. Then the wizard hit her on the head and did not change that little skunk back. So, no, Joe said, no, Joe doesn't want Roger skunk to have that awful smell, okay? So she touched her father's lips with her hands. Okay, so yet even in her agitation did not quite dare to stop the source of truth and inspiration to came to her. So though she could not stop the source of truth, okay, that an inspiration that came to her, so she could not stop saying, and after all she spoke that wizard should hit back on mommy's head. Okay, and his wizard should not change the little skunk. Okay, so these are the words of Joe. No, he said, the wizard said, okay. And Roger Skunk did not smell of roses anymore. He smelled very bad again. So Jack said, no, this did not happen. Wizard is not going to hit mommy. But in fact, Wizard said okay, and he returned the original smell of Roger Skunk to him and took back the smell of roses. But the other little oh, Johnny, it's Daddy's story. Shall Daddy not tell you any more stories? Her broad face looked at him through sifted light, astound. So, though, see, she is. Joe is making grief face. She is very sad for August Skunk. She wants Wizard to hit mommy. Do you remember the title of the story? Should Wizard hit mommy? So these are the words of the little girl. She wants Wizard to hit mommy. But Jack said, that is Daddy's story. Daddy will tell you the story. Shouldn't he tell you the story? So she looked at his father and she was astounded that this is what happened then. Roger Skunk and his mommy went home and then heard woo woo. It was the cuckoo train bringing Daddy. Bringing. What was that? Sorry. They heard the whistling of the train. The train was bringing Daddy Skunk home from Boston. And they had lima beans, clary liver, mashed potatoes, and pie. Oh my, for dessert. And when Roger Skunk was in bed, Mommy Skunk came up and hugged him and said he smelled like little baby skunk again, and she loved him very much. And that's the end of the story. But Daddy, so that is the end of the story. Jack finishes his story. Now again the child is curious, but Daddy, what? Then what did the other little animals run away? No, because eventually they got used to the way he was and did not mind it at all. Now, Joe is curious to know about the other animals. Did they run away? Did they run away? So Jack told no. Eventually, finally, okay, they became used to, they became accustomed to Roger skunk's smell, and they did not mind the skunk smell. Okay, they had became friendly with skunk, and they became close to him. Okay, what's Evangelade? What is Evangelade? In a little while. So eventually, the child doesn't know the word eventually. So she's asking, what do you mean by eventually, Papa? Papa says, in a little while. That was a stupid mommy. It was not, he said with a rare emphasis, and believed from her expression that she realized he was defending his own mother to her, and something as odd. So even after the end of the story, the child is not satisfied. She said the mommy was stupid. but Jack wants the child to feel that the mommy was not stupid. Okay, so that she realized he was, and Joe understood that father is defending mommy of skunk. Okay, and that was, or something else, or now I want you to put your big heavy head in the pillow and have a good long nap. He adjusted the shade so not even a crack of day showed, and tiptoed to the door in the pretense that she was already asleep. But when he turned, she was crouching on the top of the covers and staring at him. Hey, get under the covers and fall fast asleep. Bobby's asleep. So he thought to leave the room. When he reached the door, he found the girl again sitting on the top of the covers. Okay, she stood up and bounced gingerly on the springs. Daddy, what? Tomorrow I want to tell me the story that wizard took the magic wand and hit his that mommy, her plump arms chopped forcefully right over the head as if she's herself is going to hit the mommy. So with action she is telling her father that in the next day she wants to hear the story where wizard is going to hit the mommy. No, tomorrow you say he hit the mommy. Do it. She kicked her legs. Sorry, no, that's not the story. The point is that the little skunk loved his mommy more than he loved all other little animals, and she knew that was right. So father said, "No, skunk is Roger is not going to do like that because he loved his mommy. Anyone else in the world, okay? But the child is child. She doesn't know. She wants the story to be in her way. No, tomorrow you say he hit the mommy. Do it. She kicked her legs up and sat down on the bed with a great heave and complained of spring. So, with a great jump, she sat on the bed as she had done hundreds of times before, except that this time she did not laugh. Say it, Daddy. Now she is serious and she wants her daddy to agree that the next day he would be saying that wizard hit the mommy. Well, we will see. Now at least have a rest. Stay on the bed. You are a good girl. He closed the door, went downstairs. Claire had spread the newspaper, opened the paint can, and wearing an old shirt on top of her maternity smock and was stroking the chair rail with dipped brush. Above him, footsteps vibrated and he called, Johnny, shall I come up there and spank you? Spank means hit you. The footsteps hesitated. So he could hear the noises sounds from the room, so he scared the child that he would come and hit her if she doesn't sleep. That was a long story, Claire said. The poor kid, he answered, and with utter weariness means tiredness watched his wife labor the woodwork, a, a cage of moldings means designs, and the rails and a baseboard all around them was half old tan and half new ivory, and he felt caught in the ugly middle position. And though he as well felt his wife's presence in the cage with him, he did not want to speak with her, work with her, touch her, anything. So he was in the ugly middle position. Why he is in the ugly middle position? Because he couldn't help his pregnant wife. Okay, so he is very helpless. He feels sorry for her wife, but on the other hand, he was very helpless to make his child satisfied. So in the both way, Jack found himself very helpless. So he doesn't want to do anything, he doesn't want to work, he doesn't want to talk. So he keeps standing there. So this story says that one should not lose his or her originality. We should fix to our originality, and that is only real. Okay, but the child in the story, Joe, doesn't know the reality of the life. She is more allured, more tempted with the beautiful things, with the beautiful smells. But through the story, Jack wants to teach some morals to her daughter. So that is the end of the chapter. Hope you liked it. Bye bye.